there's a lot in the news right now when it comes to reconciliation and the parliamentarian, especially when it comes to the minimum wage increase that was attempted to be put in the bill, and it looks like the Senate will kick it, will give it the bird. And I'm curious. The parliamentarian has taken a lot of heat for saying that I think she said it violates the bird rule. That was the recommendation. And is she a good scapegoat, or a victim in this process in terms of being a target of so much animosity when it comes to a part of the bill like this?
Well, I think that, first of all, it is a thankless job being a Senate parliamentarian, a thankless job, but a critical job. And as I mentioned, I earlier before the taping here, my heart goes out to the parliamentarian. That is a tough, tough job, particularly as it relates to this determination that puts a lot of pressure. Now, let's remember, she merely advises the president pro tem, whoever's sitting in. She doesn't make the final decision. The final decision is made by the presiding officer of the Senate, and they don't have to follow her advice. But generally, in the history, I've seen about once or twice in my history up there where there was the president pro tem did not follow advice. But no, is she a victim today? I think it's unfair. I think she looked at this very carefully as it relates to the minimum wage. Tori may have a different take on how the decision was made. She didn't consult with me, I can assure you. She didn't. She looked at it, and I think she probably concluded that, wait a minute, here we go again. Is this really part of what was designed to be a COVID bill? It has benefits, clearly. It does have a budgetary consequence now, according to the kind of the secondary scoring of it, or the dynamic scoring. But I could make the argument, number one, that it's merely incidental, falls into that merely incidental. Yes, $52 billion sounds like a big number, but remember, wages over the next 10 years is something like $140 trillion. And so in that context, it's less than it's a dot. And that, plus also a technical issue as to relates to the committee of jurisdiction of the Senate that did not have the money to cover the $52 billion. I think the bottom line was that was a decision that you made the right decision. And unfortunately, those who feel, particularly those in the House who do not understand this process and why it was established the way it was, I think are really making a mistake by attacking the parliamentarian.
Yeah, let me just go on to what Bill is saying there. I think a lot of progressives are not really taking the appropriate perspective when it comes to her decision on the minimum wage, especially with respect to survival of the coronavirus relief bill in the Senate. There were not enough votes for the COVID relief bill in the Senate with the minimum wage in it. We know we already have Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema from Arizona on record as saying that they would not support the bill with that in it. So the fact that she determined via her analysis of Senate precedent and the Byrd rule that the minimum wage was not appropriate for the American Rescue Act, I think she saved the bill. I think she made it possible to pass the bill in the Senate. Otherwise, Senator Schumer would have had a devil of a time trying to corral the 50 votes that he needs in the Senate to get this passed, knowing, of course, that the vice president will provide the 51st vote that gets it across the line. So I would really hope that those on the left that are really upset about this minimum wage provision would take a broader perspective, a broader view, and understand what her guidance and her opinion has done to the survivability of that bill in the Senate. And instead of castigating her in public, actually, pat her on the back, and Schumer should send her a dozen roses.
We've acknowledged reconciliation is basically used to avoid filibuster. It doesn't result in great legislation. Is it time to kick reconciliation to the curb? What do you do with filibuster? Walk us through that. What are your thoughts there?
Very quickly, I would simply say that it has clearly evolved into something that the authors of the Congressional Budget and Parliament Control Act never envisioned it becoming. It has the irony of ironies, a particular piece of legislation that was designed to control the deficit, maintain fiscal sustainability, has now become an instrument for upsetting fiscal sustainability for the future. So yes, I think it's time to change. It's an easy change. You can go back and simply say you can only use it to reduce the deficit. You don't have to do away with it entirely, but it has become a tool that is just simply designed to get around the filibuster. And I think that that's unfortunate.